Hey Arno, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, doing good. How's your day going so far?
Good. Busy day. Was out filming today, so
What were you filming?
convention, like a uh yeah, artists and indoor uh home accessories, things like
Mhm.
that.
How
Big
long was
big convention, a lot of clients, a long day.
good problem to solve. Good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Mason, we got Jack Mason in the house with the wife beater today. Let's go.
Go on, I guess.
What up? What up? MJ, how's it going?
Doing good, good. How are you?
Good. Just living the dream. Looking forward to chopping it up today.
Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing well, doing well.
We're good.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop on in. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. So, guys, Jeremy, I think we're gonna have maybe a few more people, maybe one or two, maybe two more people join in. They'll probably join as you talk. But guys, we have a new member. So as usual, what we want to do is we want to give our new member Jeremy our undivided attention. And then after Jeremy introduces himself, when he asks his question, please be mindful and thoughtful, and let's give him a good answer. So Jeremy, tell us really quick, a little bit about yourself. Tell us what made you join. Third, what are you hoping to accomplish? And then fourth, one question that you'd like to ask and get answers from other members, not myself and not Mason. Um, Go ahead, take the stage.
All right. Well, I'm Jeremy Wood. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, actually a little town, a suburb outside of Kansas City called Lee Summit. But, home of the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, probably going to be a three-peat this year. I'm 49 years old, married to my lovely and beautiful wife who has horrible eyesight and is a terrible bad judge of character. We've been married for 27 years. We have two sons, Noah and Jordan. They're 25 and 21. I have a daughter in law named Kara. She's married to Noah. And then we have a few pets, great pets. Um, I own Cinematic Visions. I started the business in 2003, do video and media production along with content creation and management for people. Um, and I've been doing that for a long time. And I guess that leads me into why I joined. If any of you have done video or media production or content creation, it's just kind of this up and down cycle where every single month you're kind of starting over with a fresh slate, trying to find new customers, new clients, new people all the time to make new videos for, new content for, and it just gets very tiring and it's stressful. And now that I'm an old man, I just am looking for something that's more consistent, more, make some money while you sleep kind of thing. So over the last couple of years, I've been trying to change my business into a retainer type model. I've gone through some other courses and they just didn't work out for me. And all of a sudden, this guy with crazy hair starts showing up on my Facebook feed all the time. And he, it was just over and over and over. And a couple times I watched the video and would go into the page and click out. And then one night, probably a little past midnight, I went ahead and bought the $47 7-day marketing program. And then that started this conversation with Koishik. And, we've been, I'm sure as you guys did, a lot of onboarding and talking last week and watching videos and getting ready to launch this 6-figure funnel thing. And so, yeah, I joined because I just tired of running all the time. I'm looking for something a little bit more um, consistent and maybe tried and true and proven. So I thought I'd give it a shot. three to five goals. That's kind of my goals, is just, make my life a little bit easier and be able to maybe set things not quite on autopilot. I know nothing really works that way, but get to a point where the videos and things that I want to make are literally the ones I want to make. And then I can tell people who offer me projects I don't want to do, I can tell them no. Right now, I'm just not in that kind of a position. Usually I have to take what comes my way, whether I want to or not. So, and then I suppose the big question I would ask everybody here is kind of twofold. Like, how long have you been at it, and how long was it before you started seeing it work? And so, how long, two ways, how long have you been in the group, and how long before you were kind of hitting the goals you had when you joined the group? And with that, I give you back the floor.
Solid questions. Thank you for that introduction. I think as you said, some of those things, Jeremy, like in terms of getting easier, things being a lot easier, where you're not like running around, chasing your tail, trying to get this client, trying to get that client, and then also, retainers. I feel like Cam might be able to speak to that. Cam came in and, when he thought that there was a lot more, he thought maybe there's a specific situation where he thought maybe more video was all part of this. And he was like, wait, hold on. And so he's just like, I want to do the bare minimum video and really systemize type thing. So I just want to bring that up. He's also been through some programs that didn't work for him. That being said, really quick, so there's two funnels that we build, right? There's the 6 figures in 6 weeks, and then there's the niching down funnel. Did you want to ask them, which one did you want to ask them about, or did you want to ask them about both? Or
I guess it just kind of overall, I just so you know where I'm at, Koishik, I came in all weekend. I had about 1,000 photos I had to edit and a video I had to edit before I could really dig into this 6-figure thing. So I spent Saturday, Sunday, and all day today, literally like 15 minutes ago, I finished editing the last picture. So now I got a fresh slate for tomorrow. I'm going to start in on, I guess that's week 3, all the videos, and start building out that funnel. But I would imagine all of you accomplished with the 6-figure in 6. What was it? 6-figure? I always forget the term. 6 and 6, basically. I imagine all of you had success.
figures in 6 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, success with that, because you wouldn't be here still. But once you picked your niche and kind of figured out how to make it all work, how long did that take you, and how long was it before you were at an income level where you thought this was the best decision I've made in a while?
Yeah. Rodarte, you want to maybe take a stab at that one, in terms of how long it took you to get the 6 figures built, how long it took you to close your first deal, how long it took you to build your niche funnel, and how long you've been currently at the process of doing sales to close some money from the niche funnel. You want to maybe take a stab at that, Rodarte?
Yeah, so I hopped in on the last part of the question there that Jeremy was asking. But 6 figures, 6 weeks was by far the easiest hurdle for me. I launched ads. When I closed my first deal was mid-April. So from March to April is about a month. Like actually money in hand, closing from a free video commercial, and then came the hard part, right? So like I decided to against counsel, I decided to go ahead and try to niche into that, and it didn't work out. It was a learning experience for sure. I don't know if I would take that back or not, but that did slow me down as far as time. So I'm niche now in the HVAC, and your question was like, how long has it taken to be successful? I'm still in the throes of it. So I haven't I've success in terms of it took a long time to just get these leads to talk to me, and then or a week, or or I don't know what you would call long. Long for me may not be long for Koshik, but it was a learning curve to get these leads to answer to me, that I knew they had a heartbeat, that just on text message. Then it was like another hurdle to get them on the phone, and then it was like, okay, now my hurdle is I've gotten sales calls, I can book sales calls, but now it's just okay, like for me it's closing. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, next week, I'll be able to close some clients.
Thank you for that, Rodarte. Cam, do you want to maybe chime in terms of how long it took you to build a six-figure, close your first deal, and then maybe where you're at in terms of the overall process, and also like what do you project based off what you've seen so far?
You're muted, brother.
Cam,
Thank you. I think it took me, I don't know, I think it took me around 10 days from when like I started, from where you're at, from when you started to getting my first client through the 6 weeks thing. And then now I'm starting to niche down. So I'm just starting to like write out my scripts, write out my just all my ads for what I want to be niching down into. So things are going well. I project my goal is to get my first client within the next month. That'd be wicked. And right now I'm kind of putting all my time towards this. So I like to think that that's a realistic goal. Yeah, things are going well though. Like every time I reach a new goal, I get a new hit of dopamine. Like it's almost like once you hit up here, you never go back sort of thing. So just keep on climbing the hill and you won't fall down. And if you fall down, then you've already been there. So you know which route to go to get up the next step. But yeah, my advice is just keep on going. And yeah, I'm optimistic because I've just been only seeing things to be optimistic for going through this program from the 6 weeks to niching down. It just keeps on. The feeling hasn't changed. Just keep on upgrading. It's just whatever I'm upgrading in changes. So right now I'm niching down. So yeah.
thanks, Cam. So I'm gonna maybe just kind of the right side of the people that are within here. If I look at Mason, for example, Mason and I started a long time ago. For Mason, he hopped in 6 figure 6 week. Again, walk in the park for him. For everybody, it pretty much is. It's honestly your fallback option. It's like your college degree. It's your safety net. That's as worse as things ever get. And then he dabbled in a bunch of different niches, tried a whole bunch of different things out, and then finally settled on personal trainers. Now he's got personal trainers that are doing about 17,000 per month, and he's doing profit share deals with them. If I look at Arno just hopped in literally a week before, so he's literally around the same page as you, maybe a chapter ahead of you. He just launched his ads today. If I look at MJ, 6 figure 6 weeks, close a deal, niche down into med spas. We already did med spas, so he just launched the funnel, launched the ads. He's in the same process as same place as Rodarte. He's taking a little bit of a breather. Who else do we have here? And yeah, and then you'll meet Aman. Aman's been with us since 2020. He's probably the furthest along. Also, Jorge was just here. He'll probably hop back in. He's at the place that you're referring to as well. He's got the niche selected. He's closing deals. He's doing service delivery. So he's a little bit further along. And yeah, does that help a little bit in terms of your question, Jeremy? Or do you have maybe another question you want to ask the guys?
Well, I get, yeah, that helps. I just, just trying to, in my mind, set realistic expectations for, when I launch things, what I should expect or what I should be expecting. Is it, there's kind of a wide range there. Like Mr. Rodarte was saying, he started in March and is still kind of trying to get there. But then it sounds like some of the other guys got there pretty quickly. So just trying to gauge the window and see where hopefully I can see what's normal, what's average, what's outstanding or an outlier, and hopefully fall into the faster pace. I get, everybody, do you feel like, has everybody at this point gone, done the 3 months? And is everybody in here, Koshik, is everybody in here a partner of yours, or are they continuing coaching? I see 7 people in here, including myself. So are the other 5 guys, are you guys all in the 3-month little window, or are you beyond that? And have you partnered with Koshik and all that?
So everybody in here right now is kind of in the phase that you're in.
Okay.
And what I'll say is about the partners, the guys that are a a little bit further along. Sometimes they're here and sometimes they're not because they don't need to be here all the time. I would say Jorge is a little bit more frequent. So again, you'll meet Jorge, you'll meet Aman. In terms of the people that are here, pretty much everybody's 3 months. Some people have extended to 6 months. For example, Rodarte, his story is when it comes to average, I would say closing a deal within about 14 days from the 6-figure 6 week is average, as I was telling you. And that's been the case through pretty much everybody that's here right now. Then when it comes to niching down, what Rodarte did, the reason his experience was a little bit longer is he did the 6-figure 6 week, closed a deal, and then he decided he wanted to pursue that niche. And so what he did, he spent about 1 or 2 months just like helping out that client. And then what he realized was like, hey, I don't want to be in this niche. I don't want to do this thing. So then he did what Cam is doing. So hopefully that makes sense. So he did the 6-figure 6 week. He went down this path, and it would have been perfect for him if she was a good client, if it was a good niche for him. But then because he realized it wasn't, he basically reverted back 2 months, and now he's in the process. And it took him about a month about niching down, building your niche funnel, starting to get leads, focus on sales. It takes about a month. So about 14 days to close your first deal from 6-figure 6 week, which is pretty average for everybody, and about a month to do the whole niching down, building your funnel, getting your leads, starting getting comfortable on calls. So that's pretty average.
I will say it took me when I did for the 6 weeks, 6 figures, it took me 2 days of launching ads to find my client. It was just like she was traveling to New York and she needed to reschedule a couple times. So like just like nurturing her for 2 weeks before getting paid. So that's what I counted, was actually money in hand. But yeah, like she was like one of the first leads that came in.
It was quick. The six figures in 6 weeks, it sounds like, is pretty quick for everybody.
Yep. As Rodarte said, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
From there, there's challenges and hurdles and stuff like that as you really niche down and become really specialized in what you're doing here. It's kind of like a primary care physician versus like a neurosurgeon. Very different ballgame.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that help a little bit, Jeremy, in terms of giving you a little bit of context of like what to expect?
I told I've gone over you more specifically what my goals are and stuff. I'd love to be able to get it all up and launched and get my 3-month deal paid for and then just start really running in the black. And so most of the questions I have, I think, will come in the process. So as I I don't know exactly how these coaching calls work, but as they go, I'll put my 15-minute marker in, and maybe that will be where I'm probably going to become more inquisitive. Right now, I'm glad to meet everybody. I'm glad to be here. I, have moments of like, man, I'm so excited to get started, and other moments like, have I messed up? And because as I alluded to, I've, done some other courses that didn't go so well. So you have that fear and anxiety kind of knocking on the door. But in the meetings I've had with Kaushik and just the videos I've watched, I believe I can do this. And I'm just anxious to get it going. So like I said, I'm anxious enough that I came in and spent pretty much all day. I was here till 9 or 10 Friday and then all day Saturday. Went to church yesterday, came back in, worked pretty much the rest of the day Sunday, and got here early this morning and finished up everything I could get my hands on. I've got other projects, but they're more kind of you can just sip from the cup. You don't have to do the whole thing all at once. So I got all the things that were, what I perceive to be as hurdles for me to get over before I could really sink my teeth into it. So tomorrow will be the day I come in and sit back, relax, and start, going through the week 3, the 6 figures in 6 weeks and setting up that funnel and getting going. So I'm just real excited to see how it works and get that first customer, record a couple calls and hand them over to you and see what you think when I'm talking to them, if that's possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll talk about that as well. I'll message you regarding how we do the discovery and sales call reviews. It's typically going to be a few discovery calls down. It's typically about the 4th or 5th that I'll review, but we'll go over that. But yeah, thank you again for introducing yourself. I know you're anxious. I know you're nervous. I know you're excited. All these feelings, very normal. And that's why I like to do these introductions and allow the other members to talk to you. And it kind of kind of like just let you know, hey, like this is normal, this is okay, it's okay to be a little bit nervous, and these are some of the results that the other guys have, and so hopefully that gives you a little bit of peace of mind. For this
Yeah.
very first call, because of just kind of where you're at, you are literally where Arno was last week, so a lot of it is just going to be, just chill out, Jeremy, sit back, relax, and I'm gonna be talking to the other guys, and some of the stuff that I'm gonna say, you're gonna be like, it sounds familiar to you, it's gonna make sense, but the other things are gonna be like, whoa, what the heck are these guys talking about? And that's normal for the very first one, and then by next week, we'll be able to really, help you with specific questions, stuff like that. So for the rest of it, just sit back, relax. If you want to chime in, ask a question, you can. You want to type it up, you feel free to do that. But yeah, welcome aboard. And again, we'll circle back if you have questions. Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and delve in. Um, all right. So we got first. We got Arno first. Arno, how's it going?
Yeah, going well. Doing good.
Cool.
Uh,
So I sent you some voice. Um,
yeah.
yeah, please, questions, comments, thoughts.
Yeah. I listened to those. I started watching some of the videos that you suggested. I just saw that you left me another message with uh, watch this video after you've launched your ads video. So I haven't watched that yet, but I'll do that tomorrow. I have the ads published now, so that's up, and I started to uh, uh, clone the funnel so I can make a version for the ad for the Netherlands. So
Good.
so that's where I'm at
Um,
now.
so in terms of questions, what is brewing in your mind in terms of questions? What are things that we can help you out with today? There's something I want to go over, but what do you specifically want to go over?
Um, yeah, the thing that's on my mind now is that the ads are running. So yeah, what happens now? If I get a lead, then yeah, I went over the scripts, so I kind of have an idea of what to say now. But even after that, if I get them on a discovery call, uh, and the script kind of makes some promises that, um, yeah, providing a demo, and I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. So that's kind of
Okay. Uh,
what I'm thinking.
yeah. So what I did, so Cam, I think maybe it'd be good for Cam to talk on this, and then maybe we can do some role playing to help you out. But Cam, like, do you have any advice for Arno as do you kind of understand like Arno's kind of situation? He's like launched the ads and he's kind of just like wondering like, okay, how do I even have these conversations? I haven't actually ran ads, I haven't built funnels or whatever. Like, do you maybe have some like words of wisdom that really helped you like once things clicked for you to help Arno?
Yeah. My advice would be just to figure out what you're selling, remember the reason why they're interested, and you are the master of what they're interested in when you get in their ear. And don't pick another path. Even if you're making stuff up, the only point of this part of the call, which now I understand, is you need to make a sale. It doesn't really matter too much like how legit it is or how much you sold it for or what you're selling. The fact is that you end up selling them on something that they were interested in, often the ad. You went through the discovery call, however that means, whether you called them within 5 minutes or they booked one with you, or it doesn't really matter. The point is just make the sale, remember what you're selling, why they're giving you their time, and stick to the script. And the script is built for you to stick to what you're selling. And when you're in their ear, you're the master of what you're selling. Kind of becoming a broken record here, but in a weird way, you're kind of there's gonna be a lot of things that you're
Do
selling that
you,
you don't.
go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For me, it's like you kind of feel like a fraud because the script is like you're gonna get this and this, and I don't even know how to do that for you, this person yet. But that's not the point. Try to forget about that because the only point of this is to sell them. And then if you do sell them, like Koshik is saying, the next step is to either get them results or give them their money back and then niche down so you can figure out how to get results for that specific niche. But the point isn't for you to know exactly what you're selling. The point is to know that once you do sell them, then you figure out the results. So for me, it's a big thing where I'm like, oh, I feel kind of weird saying this is what this person's going to get when I don't even know how to get this person that thing that I'm telling them straight to their face. I know how to get them, even though I don't know how. That's not the point. The point is sell them. Then once you're done with the sale and the money is literally in your bank, then you go into the next step, which is getting them results or yada, yada, yada. But just try to remember only focus on the sale and forget about that you don't know what you're talking about or you don't know what you're really selling. Yeah, you can't get them results. Yeah.
So thank you for that, Cam. So I think the big thing, maybe if I were to try to translate, I think the reason Cam mentioned what he mentioned to you, Arno, is because you can have analysis paralysis where you're like, dude, I'm offering this thing. I don't know how to deliver on this thing or whatever. And what we're trying to say is like, that's why I'm here. That's why Mason is here. So just focus on pushing them to the next stage. And then once you get to the next stage, focus on closing them. And then from there, we're going to help you in terms of service delivery and kind of figuring all that stuff out. But if you think too far ahead, like you're going to screw yourself out of the sale. And so I think what we can, and then also he's kind of, the other thing he's saying is like kind of stick to this as like a skeleton, as a base framework. Don't go off tangent because if you go off tangent, you're going to hurt yourself. Does that make any sense or does that feel like woo-woo? If it feels like woo-woo, I think running through an example with you might be good. What's kind of brewing in your head as you hear this, Arno?
Yeah, Cam was right. That's what I was worried about. Continue after the call and not knowing what I'm doing. So yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to know. And this is important. This is the harsh reality. You're not going to know, and that's okay. You're not going to know how to get anybody results because you've never done it. How can you expect to? That's my job, and that's Mason's job to help you with that. Your job is simply to execute the script. That's it. Just focus on executing the script. You will have imposter syndrome. And Jeremy, this is one of the things I was talking to you about. You're going to have imposter syndrome, and that is okay. That's normal. Just push through it. Okay. So let's say, for example, we're talking to let's say you're a chiropractor that I'm gonna have a conversation with. Okay. Let's maybe just do some role playing. You're somebody that you fall into this category where you are a chiropractor, you've got money, you work with an agency in the past, and you didn't get great results. Okay. So I'm gonna start the conversation. And by the way, this is assuming me and you are on the discovery call. There's some things you have to do to get people to the discovery call. You have to message them through DMs and all that stuff. And there's another video here, which is how to book the maximum number of sales calls. Okay, so this is the bridge that gets you to the discovery call. So we're going to talk about what the discovery call would actually look like. So I've done my research. I know who you are. I know that you've tried running ads. And I know that what I must do, my main objective is I have to rekindle your faith in ads by diagnosing mistakes from the past, educating you on what has to be done to make things work for you. Literally, your example. You had a coaching program, didn't work for you. You had another coaching program, didn't work for you. I had to educate you on health, wealth, relationships. Those are the only three things that work when it comes to paid ads. And you had a light bulb moment. So I have to do the same thing here. Okay. So hey, is this Arno? This is Koshik Amato of the Sonoma Marketing Agency. You apply for the free video course. It's a good time. Just have a few questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
To which Arno, yeah, perfect. So Arno, look, I checked out your social media, your website. Really love the stuff that we saw. And I'd love to potentially provide you with a free video course, but I just, we only have one spot available this month. So I just want to hop in, ask you three really quick questions to see if it's a good fit. If it is, I'll let you know. If I don't think it's a good fit, I'll also let you know. I'll be very crystal clear about that. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So I guess, my first question to you is like, what made you apply for the free video commercial?
Yeah, I thought it'd be good to have a video to post on my social media. And yeah, it's free. So
Gotcha. So some people will say that like, oh, it's free. You don't want those people. You definitely don't want those people, okay? People should have shame. The right people will have shame. They will not say that kind of stuff to you. If somebody says that to you, red alert. I'm not saying don't try to talk to them, but they typically won't say that. Got it. So you're looking for a video and you want to post it on your social media. Like, I guess like which social media did you want to post it on?
The Facebook, Instagram.
Okay, so you want to post on your Facebook, you want to post on Instagram. I did check out some of your content on your Instagram, and your Facebook. Like the content that you have on there, is that stuff that you've already shot yourself, or a lot of it looks kind of like stuff that you shot yourself. So I'm guessing you want like something that's a little bit more professional to post on your Facebook and your Instagram. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, something that people will actually watch because I don't get a lot of views on my videos.
Oh, okay. So people that will actually like watch your videos. So okay. So if you're trying to get people to like, I guess like watch your video, like I guess like what would occur if you got them to watch the video? What are you hoping?
Well, I always hear that the more people watch your videos, Facebook or Instagram will like show it to even more people, and uh, yeah, eventually
Okay.
you'll
So you're
reach the right people and get customers out of that.
okay. So basically you're okay. So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's number one, you're trying to get more traffic. And then if you get more traffic, you're assuming that out of all those people that watch your video, a certain percentage of those people will raise their hand and say, hey, look, I want to work with Arno. I want to come inside of his clinic. I want to become a patient of his. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's so good to hear. That's literally what we do, by the way. We focus on getting that traffic, getting those leads, and then ultimately help you convert those into sales. But I'll revisit that here in a little bit. Boom. Question two. What is so if we consider question one, what is the use case of the video? Ideally, they mentioned something about marketing, advertising, or getting customers. I'm not going to move on until I've heard customers. See how I kind of led you to tell me the answer that I wanted to hear?
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Arno? That's what you must do. And that's the thing that really clicked for Cam and Jeremy as well. Hopefully this training that we're going through applies to you as well. You're not just straight up asking a question. You cannot move on until you get the answer that you want, which is I want leads, I want customers, because that's fundamentally what we're selling. Okay. So if they say, oh, cool video, I thought it would be free. No, you cannot move on. You're not going to make the sale. You must get them. You're baiting them to tell you the thing that you want, which is I want leads, I want sales. Until they say it, you don't move forward. Make sense, Jeremy and Arno?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that's perfect. And imagine we're going to turn the conversation. So like I said, we'll revisit it. So question two, do you know what your average lifetime value is or average order value is? In case, sometimes, in the marketing world, we use different terminology than, chiropractors, but LTV just simply stands for like the average amount that a client spends with you, over the course of the months and years that they're with you. Do you know what the average client spends with you, that average order value or lifetime value, what that might be?
Um, Not exactly, but most people do come back and become regular customers. Uh, let's say maybe 4 or 5 thousand.
Okay. So 4 or 5K. So I mean, like, I guess like how so some people will say that, but I like what you're saying, and that was going to set me up for what I wanted to kind of help you guys with. Let's say somebody gave me an answer like you were giving me, Arno, which is like, I don't know, they become customers. Here's what I would do. You gave me the answer I'm looking for, which is 4 to 5K. That's the answer I need. But in case you don't give it to me, I have to figure it out together. So let's assume you didn't say that, Arno. What I would say is got it. So most people, so people come in, they become repeat customers. I guess like really quick, what do you charge on average for a treatment? Like when you come in and you do a line backbreaker, I don't know what the hell it's called, a line backbreaker extension. Like how much are you typically charging for that? Just a one time when they come in.
$100. I have no
100
clue.
bucks. Okay. Okay, 100 bucks. That sounds pretty average. And then I guess like how many times a week are you typically seeing somebody that's come in?
Um, Maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay. So once every 2 weeks. So that's about $200. So that's about $200 a month. And then on average, how many months are they typically staying with you?
Depends on their problem. Some will be there 3 months. Others, yeah, they have severe problems and continue like year round.
Definitely. Yeah, and in my experience, I've typically seen patients come in for about 6 months. That's typically what's pretty average to me. I mean, does that seem average to you, or do you feel like that's a little bit high or low?
Yeah, on average, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So you see what I just did there? I got the number. So 200 times 6 is going to be my number. Now, I didn't say it's 6 months. I said, on average, in my experience, about 6 months. What do you think? Because it doesn't matter what I say, it matters what you say. You need to say it's 6 months because it's your number. I'm going to sell you on what you're telling me. Does that make sense, Arnold? That's a small little golden nugget. Hopefully, you guys both picked up on. Make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So ultimately, I got to get the number. You first told me 4K. Now, if I do the number, that's 200 times 6. That's 1,200. Right. So first you told me 4K, then you told me 4K. First you said 4K, then you said 1,200. I'm going to just assume the average client that goes into chiropractor is about 2K. Okay, just for like that's what I know to be true. It's about 2K, 2,500 is average. Okay. So okay, perfect. So average, let's just assume it's 2K. Okay. So got it. So average client comes in X number of months, about $200 every other week, for 6 months. That's about $2,000 lifetime value. Does that sound about right? You say yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so that being said, look, I did a little bit of research, Arno. I went to your website. I saw that you actually had a Facebook Pixel installed, and so right away that actually told me that you actually were trying to solve this traffic problem. The thing that you were trying to accomplish with this free video, of getting traffic, of getting leads. It seems like you actually try to go after that in the past. Can you tell me a little bit more about what happened there? Did you run the ads? Did you have a marketing agency run the ads? And ultimately, like, I guess, like, what happened? Because I would assume, something went wrong or else the ads would still be running. So now you have to tell me what the problem is. So this question right here, question 3, is different depending on the niche. This one, I have to educate people on the power of ads. This one, I have to figure out what went wrong. This one, I have to expose the kink of their armor. So in this case, again, you tell me, you can make it up. Did you run the ads? Did you hire an agency? What happened there?
I try to run the ads myself. I had my nephew help me to set up the Facebook Pixel because I had no clue what that was. But I don't think it really did anything because it didn't feel like my ads were showing more than normal. So
Okay, so I guess, like, can you walk me through just really quickly, and we'll revisit the video here in a second. But before we get on to that, can you tell me a little bit more about, like, what that funnel looked like? Really quick, what am I doing there? I got to figure out exactly what the hell happened. I cannot diagnose until I know. Also, I am kind of future pacing you. I'm not telling you I'm not going to talk about the video. I'm kind of getting you answer. I'm like, if you answer this, you get to hear about the video. I'm kind of dangling a carrot in front of you a little bit. Small little micro trick there. Okay, so now give me your answer.
I didn't really have a funnel. It was just an ad with we tried to run a special. We had a deal on for a little bit, and the other ad was just to try and get them to our website. Uh,
Okay, so you had an ad and you were trying to get to a website.
Yeah.
And from that website, you're trying to collect name, email, address, phone number, something like that. Yeah.
no, just to get them to the website to see if yeah they would find us
Okay,
that way. Uh,
gotcha. So you were running an ad and you had some kind of an offer there. You're trying to run it to your website. And I guess, like, what happened? Like, were you getting clicks? Were you getting anybody to call? Nothing was happening. And also, like, how much did you even spend on ads, and how long were you doing this for?
um, I think the different ads over time I think we tried it for a couple of months. I think maybe 3 4 months, and tried different ads, but we got a lot of views on the ads, but not really a lot of people that contacted us that uh, we actually found out about that they were from the ads or they
Gotcha.
didn't.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So let's just say again, and if I'm, like, really analyzing the situation, I already know what the issue is. The issue is when it comes to chiropractors, you can't run an ad to a website. You got to do a lead form ad. You got to have something for like $47. And then from there, you call them, nurture them, collect a deposit, bring in. Like, I already know what that is. So Jeremy, Arno, both of you guys, what I just went over right there, that only comes from experience, guys. Do not expect to have all the answers. Do not like what I just know. I just fucking know because of my experience. So be kind to yourself and be patient with yourself that you're not going to have that information. You're going to have to go on the fly. Okay. Arno, you're going to have to go on. This is what Cam was talking about. You're going to have to make something up just to push something over, or you have to ask us, me, Mason. It only comes with experience or asking questions. That's the only way you can figure this out. So I want to be very honest and transparent with you guys. Right. So the way I would do it is like, got it. So, Arno, I hear you. I understand exactly what you're talking about. Now, we actually did that years ago, and that wasn't working for us either. But we were able to figure out a system that does work. And right now, we've got about 47 different chiropractors. Some in the, some in North America. We're even doing this in South America. We got a few people in Australia, and we're running literally the exact same strategy. Do you mind if I just share with you like how it works really quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So basically what we've come to find is that you can't run ads to a website. You have to do something called a lead form ad. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so lead form ad is just a very simple type of ad where you are targeting individuals that are looking to get a treatment done, and they provide their name, their email, phone number. So what we typically do is we use highly engaging content, which is what you initially opted in for. It's that highly piece of content. Without the highly piece of content, none of the strategy works. So chances are when I hear you, by the way, I would sell you on this. I would maybe get this from you. What you did is you used a stock image. Those kinds of things don't work. They don't build any kind of trust. So what you have to do is you have to have a custom video, which really shows your establishment, shows you smiling, shows them before and after. And we run an ad with that, with a lead format, you're going to get a lot of people to put their name, email, phone number in. Now, once that's done, then what we do, actually our office, what we do is we follow up with these leads, have a conversation with them, figure exactly what the problem is, take them through the buyer cycle. Let's say I coined something for a chiropractor, the buyer chiropractic cycle, which gets XYZ pain points. And once we get that and we feel like they're a good fit for you, then what we do is we actually collect a $50 deposit. After that, we actually send them into you for you to do your evaluation and then sell them on a package. That's what we've come to find to work really well. Does that make sense, Arno?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not, you would say something like that at this point. So figure out what went wrong and provide hope. So hopefully that makes sense to you and Jeremy. Again, you think about your situation, Arno with the other coaching brand, think about what the conversation with me, it's literally the same thing. Jeremy, same thing. You spoke with Master Filmmaker. You spoke with these other programs, and I went over some of the things that, what went wrong versus what we're doing here differently. Same thing applies here. You must give people hope. You must be able to help them understand what went wrong. Okay. Now, now that you've had a little bit of closure, you've had education, now you're opened up. You're like, okay, well, shoot, I see what I did wrong. I see what went wrong. This actually makes sense. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Now, once you're there, now I can start getting you hot and heavy. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a feeling of anticipation. Now we're gonna start talking money. So, okay, Arno, so I hope that logically makes sense. Just one last question for you, Arno. See how I'm pacing you there? Because I'm already on the conversation. It's probably been a 10, 15-minute conversation. You're probably getting a little answer. So small little micro trick. So just one last question for you. What on your application, it says that you're currently at 20K revenue and you're trying to get to what number was it? Was it 40K? What number are you trying to get to? Again, I need you to say it. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, 45K.
Okay, so you're trying to get to 45K. Okay, so I guess so based off of my experience, what I can tell you, again, how much did you say you spent on ads before for the 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, I think we must spend 4-5K.
Oh my God, you guys spent 5K on ads? Holy
Yeah.
cow. All right. So based off my experience, for us, what we're doing is every $100 in paid ads, what we're doing is we're typically closing one deal. So every $100 that we're spending turns into about 2K. Again, I'm theoretically making stuff up. You got to make sure that the numbers are actually make sense. You can consult with me, consult with Mason. I'm just doing this on the fly right here. So every $100 that we spend on paid ads turns about 2K. Of course, you're going to have some churn. You have some clients that come with you and stay longer, some that stay shorter. But on average, if you're able to spend, say, I would say about 2K per month on paid ads. Again, I know you spent 5K, but if you can spend at least 2K per month on paid ads, that should take us from 20K to about 30K within the first 30 days. Is that something that you'd be open to?
Yeah, that sounds like a good investment. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can hand to God 2K and paid ads. That equates to X number of leads, X number of sales, cost per acquisition, this, da da da, list out some numbers. That's what I'm seeing on my end from all the chiropractors that we have. Look, your numbers might be a little bit higher, they might be a little bit lower, but that's the typical range that we're looking at. You know, is that something that, again, you think you can make the marketing budget for it? If you can, I can guarantee, I know that this video will do the trick that we need to get these leads for you.
Yeah, that sounds like something that'd be doable.
So again, I'm not doing the best job of this, but hopefully you guys both get an idea of what I'm doing here, right? So you had closure here. After you had closure, then I'm getting you hot and heavy. I'm getting you really excited. And if you really step into the shoes of the chiropractor, if you step into his revenue, if you step into his overhead costs, if you step into his profit, if I go into these numbers that he's been desperately trying to hit for months, for years, he's gonna be like, heck yeah, like, dude, like, please, like, tell me more. Like, really try to step into their shoes. They really will feel that way.
Can I
Okay.
ask you a quick question, Kaushik?
Yep.
That little formula you gave, $100 in ad spend typically equals one sale. Did you just make that up, or is that really what you're seeing?
That's what I'm just making up right now on the fly, just to kind of go through this example. But, and this is why you got to niche down. When you niche down, you know the numbers. Like for me, for example, going off topic here, I know, for example, if you had a conversation with me, Jeremy, I could tell you cost per lead for the 6-week sales funnel is going to be anywhere from $2.50 to $20 per lead. And 1 out of 10 are going to be a qualified lead. And based off of that, the qualified leads, I expect you to close about 20%. You can close about 10%, but 20% is average. So I'm able to give you like real hard fact numbers because I've done it a bajillion times. And that's what comes down with niching. So down the road, you will be able to do that.
Like for my niche, I know what the cost to book a call is. I know the cost per lead. I know cost per acquisition. I know cost per follow. And I know cost per literally everything. So I mean, I could spitball the numbers if someone wants to get from like 10 to 50K. I just know exactly the numbers of what it would be.
Yeah. So
Realistically, like in the beginning, you don't have to know the numbers. Like obviously, if you reach out to us, we can definitely help you with that because we have experience in a lot of niches. But as long as you're getting like the deficit in the before and after. So for example, what Kaushik did is like, hey, to get you from 20K to 30K, he made it a no-brainer that spending $2,000 on a month would be hell of a great investment if it got him from 20K to 30K. You don't necessarily need to know the exact numbers. You don't have to be like, okay, the cost per lead is this and this and this and this. As long as you're making it make sense for the bridge of, hey, this is you before and this is where you could be after. Does it make sense to spend this amount in the middle to get you from point A to point B? Like you have to realistically like realize what you're doing there as well is like, not only are you giving them the hope and the anticipation of like, it makes sense for them to actually grow their business, but it also qualifies them in a fact of like, are they even willing to spend money on ads? Right. So even given like, hey, this is going to take your business from 20K to 30K, right? Some people will be like, oh, I can't even spend $2,000 on ads. So boom, you can just disqualify them right there. Because we both know if I said, hey, Jeremy, if you gave me $2,000, I'll give you 10 back, and you said no to that, what does that mean?
You can, yeah.
Exactly. So he makes it a damn near no-brainer if you think about it.
yeah. And so good point that Mason brought up is like, it kind of allows you to financially qualify, disqualify people. Now, both of you guys, Arno and Jeremy, I don't care. You got to sell to them. Right. So even if they say they don't got the money, you got to still push them forward during this phase of the process. There's things like financing, payment options, profit share deals. There's all kinds of different things that we can do during the sales call. So in your case, you want to push people forward. Now, when you're more advanced and you've niched down, yeah, you can disqualify people. But for now, you push everybody forward. Okay. So, and another thing that we're also doing, if you really think about it, is we're kind of doing a foot in through door technique where we're basically starting to talk about money. They came in, hey, you got a free video thing. I want a free thing. Now it's like, hey, we're talking money here. So I'm getting you to open up and start talking about finances a little bit, right? Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you're here, like really try to, again, a lot of this is like psychology and really try to step into the shoes of who you're selling to. Imagine how they feel at this point. Imagine all the things that we did, all the way from telling them, hey, we can solve the problem that you actually want. That's the core thing that we're doing with question 1. Core thing with 2, we're trying to get some data. Question 2 is going to allow us to do the thing for question 4. Question 3, we got to give them closure. Now that they're hot and heavy, now I'm going to go into the offer. So you're like, yeah, that sounds great to me. Like, okay, got it. So here's the deal, Arno. You know, in terms of our offer, with the free video commercial, with the purchase of our marketing services, here's how I like to explain it. It's key that you emphasize purchase because it's not a free thing. Okay. So in terms of the free video commercial offer, with the purchase of our marketing services, here's really how I like to explain it. Okay. And this part, guys, practice it. A lot of this stuff above here, it's not like it's not a script. It's objectives, understanding objective. This right here is pretty much a script though. This stuff you have to pretty much dial in, can try to make it your own, but try to stick to it and try not to sound robotic. So Arnold, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine between a Honda Civic and a Lamborghini. Would you pick the Honda or would you pick the Lamborghini?
Yeah, the Lamborghini.
For sure. Like it looks better, it sounds better, it crushes the Civic in every single domain, right? Well, the truth is that they're both the exact same and that neither of them go anywhere without any gasoline. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So good. So essentially what we do here is we don't just provide with a Lamborghini, aka high quality video commercial, like the one that you're talking about, that's gonna showcase your facility, showcase the people smiling, the before and after. What we're also gonna do is we're also gonna provide you a premium grade gasoline so that you can run circles around your competition. In other words, what we do is we market your video so it's seen by your target audience every time they open up their phone, their laptop, their computer. And the way that we do that is we first work with you to figure out who your ideal customer is in your particular location. Then we work with you to figure out a winning offer that they want. In this particular case, by the way, it's better to say, and then what we do is we slam on our Grand Slam offer. If you say that, that's even better than saying this, because this you're saying to them you're figuring some shit out. If you tell them we already have an offer figured out, that's going to be a better sale. But if that's a little bit advanced, don't worry about it, just say this. Then what we do is we work with you to figure out a winning offer that they want. Once that's complete, we get to work and create the video, and we create your video and run ads with it. We also build a sales funnel for you so that 1 out of 4 people that click on your video and input their contact information, your staff or I would say in this particular case, we conversate with and bring them into your establishment. In other words, what we do is we bring you a stream of new leads and new customers every single day. Is that something that you think you'd be interested in? Do you think this could help you grow your business?
That would definitely grow my business. Yeah.
Awesome. So essentially the next step is just like hopping on a demo call where I can just like visually show you how all this stuff works. Would you be up for another conversation where I could provide you with that visual demo?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to see how that works. Yeah.
Perfect. So how about I got Tuesday afternoon and I got a Wednesday evening. Things are a little bit tight for us this time of the year. Do either of those two work for you?
Wednesday evening would be better.
Okay, perfect. Wednesday evening. So here's a trick. I'm not telling them, hey, when would you like to schedule a call? That's just going to be a whole thing. And on top of that, if they tell you something that's a week out, that's no bueno. You want to try to do it within a day or two. Why? Because this allows you to keep them hot afterwards. Okay. Now, after I do that, you're going to say, all right, Tuesday evening. Perfect. Give me a second here. Arno, it's 614-774-2150. Yeah. And then the email is this. Yeah. You say, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm going to get this scheduled in. Got it scheduled in. Boom. Did you just get my text? Did you just get a text?
Yep. Got it.
Testing. Okay. Perfect. Also, like Arno, do you have your phone pulled up by any chance? Do you should have received a ding, an email from me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So in that email, there will be a link. If you click that link, that'll take you right to Zoom. So we hop on these calls on Zoom. I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom. It's just a visual conference. It's something you can go and download. It's 100% free. But if you just go and click on that link, that'll take you to Zoom, and that's where I'll be with you face to face. Also, on time today or tomorrow to look at a piece of content I'd like to share with you. I'd like to maybe share a few videos with you, and then you can maybe tell me which one of those you like very well, that you feel like would match the aesthetic of your business.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah.
To that, you would probably say, okay, perfect. All right, Arno. Well, it was great talking to you. I will shoot you. I'm going to literally send this video over to you. As soon as I get a breather, I'm going to grab a coffee and I'm going to send that video over your way. And then just let me know which one of those you like, and we'll take it from there. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah.
And that's it. And so another thing that I just did there is I'm keeping the cycle open. I'm not ending. I'm not saying, hey, I'll talk to you later. I'm saying, hey, there's going to be a text from me. I'm going to continue to nurture you. I'm going to continue to build a relationship with you. And then for those 1-2 days, there's 1 to 3 to keep you warm, open you up. Okay. So that's in a nutshell how it works, guys. That's a discovery call. What are your thoughts when I run through this, Arnold? You said initially you're like, hey, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I feel da 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 da. How do you feel now?
Yeah, it's a little more clear still the thing that you do at the end with, yeah, is I'll send you some videos. Once the call's over, how am I gonna send them videos? Or how am I gonna show them
You can just
anything?
send them some YouTube.
Yeah.
You can just show them a YouTube video. It doesn't really matter. And I just pull that on the fly. Like you don't have to necessarily say you're going to send a video. That's literally just something I said. You can say something else. You can say, hey, Arno, also on this, after this call, I'm going to send you something to have a look at. It's a case study. Or, hey, Arno, I'm going to send you something over that's going to go over specific numbers. Literally anything, just to have an interaction. It doesn't really matter. It's just having an open loop. That's all that matters, and you continue to give value. Yeah,
All right.
so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you send a video. It doesn't matter if you send KPI. It doesn't matter. You just need to have the main thing is you need to have them look for having a conversation with you for the next 1 or 2 days. That's the key.
All right.
Questions?
No.
Do you have any
No.
questions, Arnold?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I'll have
And I
to
think a good
study
one
this.
I think a good one to watch is really Rich. Am I glitching out, guys?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear me though?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would recommend doing definitely is watching Rich's discovery call, the one on the left. He does a fantastic job. Great demeanor, great energy, great pacing. I think it's a great example. Aaron, both of these, he did end up closing them, but he's a little bit, I would not recommend his. I love him to death, but he was just getting his feet wet and just getting started. But Rich really got this dialed in. Jeremy,
I
do
actually
you have
watched all three of them
questions? Do you
already.
have thoughts on them?
Say
Okay,
that again.
perfect.
There were two people
Perfect.
talking there.
I was just asking if you had questions. I was going to go back and forth between you and Arno, make sure, because you guys are both kind of in the same place. Do you have questions, Jeremy? As I run through
No,
this?
no. I think I told you, Koshik, I worked for AT&T for 10 years. Probably 5 of that was on the phone representative. So I'm very, very familiar with following scripts on phone calls. And the other 5 years when I wasn't on the phone, I was training how to follow a script. So, I mean, it all, if the, I'm pretty good at shepherding people down the script the way I want them to go. So that'll be great to have. Yeah.
So it's a walk in the park, guys. Like the very first one, people are a little bit nervous. And Jeremy, it sounds like you're not going to have those nerves, but typically that's what I've seen. I see people very first one, and then by the second, third, it's like stealing candy for a baby. Like these discovery calls are not that difficult. You just kind of have to figure out your rhythm, figure out your voice, and sometimes you're gonna have people throw you off a little bit, but just try to get them back on pace, and you'll be good to go. Do you have questions?
I think my only
Go ahead, Jeremy.
area of nervousness would be not necessarily what Arno said about like sending a video. I've got content. I can prove I can do what I'm saying. The one that would make me nervous, and this might be something you guys supply, so forgive me if I've not seen this video, but when they say, well, what's your track record? And they happen to be the very first customer I've ever called or gotten a call from, and I don't know what my track record is yet. So like I said, if you've got some information in there that says, listen, this is a system that I'm taking, I'm already trying to work out in my head, unless there's some simple answer for it. Like, this is a system that I'm a part of with other people. It works. These are the numbers, that's the only thing that I could think of that I would be weak in overcoming an objection.
Good question. So it's really about killing the objection before it occurs. I always talk about that. I always say to people, it's not about killing. It's not about solving objection. I'm sorry, not killing objection. It's preventing objection before they occur. Prevent them before they occur. And there's 2 ways that you can do it. One is just the tonality in your voice, the confidence in your voice. The second one is using some of those micro tricks that I use. For example, when I said, hey, look, we've got some chiropractors in this location, and here's what we've seen on average. Another thing I said is your numbers might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower, but here's what I see on average. So when I say that, what does that demonstrate to people? That demonstrates, oh, he's got multiple people. They're not even gonna, the objection is not even gonna come in their mind. So it's about preventing the objection from even occurring. Those are some very high level micro tricks.
And even then as well, it's like really the point of the demo call is to just go over that. So if someone just kind of continuously pushes and they're just kind of like, hey, like, seriously, have you worked with anyone else? You're like, yeah, absolutely. Like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second or whatever. And then you just kind of diffuse it there. And at the end of the call, when you're pitching the solution, like, hey, do you want to see in a live demo how this is done? Right? That's where you can tell them, like, that's where you can go over numbers and specifics of what kind of campaigns you've been running before, just have them show it visually. And the thing is, as well as like, when you take them and tell them that, it kind of gives them that certainty to get on that call, and they have a reason to get on the call because that's why they want to go there. But the really cool thing is like, once they get to that call, like, that's completely thrown out the window. Like, they don't even care anymore because you're talking numbers with them. And it's like, in their mind, they're not gonna be like, how did you get these numbers? Right.
So in that demo call, is there, I mean, obviously there must be some sort of material you guys have supplied that I'm going to be able to show them, look, this is the funnel, this is how it works. I mean, again, I've not started the week 3, so I'm probably asking questions that I'll have answered in the next couple of days.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, Krish, if you want, you can answer that, but at the end of the day, there's a video that kind of explains all that. Probably
Okay.
better than I can in the next 5 minutes, because it's probably like a 30-minute long video. But it goes over exactly what to do on the sales call and how to conduct it. So it makes sense for you once you get there.
Cool.
Yep, we put together a custom demo for everybody, and I've created in a way where it's templatized, so it's really fast for you guys. So you guys are covered there. So, Arno, other questions that you have?
No, I don't think so. No.
How are you feeling?
A little better. I'll just have to go over the script a couple of times to get it in my head. But yeah.
And again, I know you're using the word script and it is the proper term, but think of it as like objectives and think of it as just something that's going to keep you on pace. And the only way to get over it, the only way to get better is just to do it. And you're going to stumble and you're going to fumble, but then eventually get better. That's just how it is. I
Does
promise.
hey Koushik, do Tony and Adam still have that workflow chart that they had for the discovery calls? You know what I'm talking about? They had like a visual graphic.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? Maybe that could
Yeah.
be helpful.
yeah. We should, yeah, we can ask them, see if maybe we can
Alright,
provide it
I'll
to you
reach
guys.
out to them.
Sweet. Thanks, Mason. Okay, guys. So Arno, is there any other question you want to go over before I transition to our next question? The next
No,
member?
taking up a lot of extra
Okay.
time already. So go ahead.
No, I think this is training that everybody needed anyway. So yeah, just go out there and just do it. Just go out there and do it. That's the best thing I can tell you other than this. Just go out there and do it. And I promise it'll get easier and easier.
All right.
Okay. All right, guys. So who do we have next? Then we got MJ, we got Cam. Mr. MJ, what's going on, brother? Are you there?
I'm good. I'm okay. So far, so good. I kind of wish I had that training, that walkthrough my very first time too. Just so you guys
Yeah.
know that was actually that was gold, you know. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah,
I didn't I didn't know. I didn't know how I didn't know how valuable that was until I did with Cam like 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago.
mm,
And I saw his eyes light up. I'm like, oh shit, I got
yeah.
every new member. So
Oh yeah.
now
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
it was because even
But
like
thank you
even me sitting here and just listening to them, it's like, yeah, like, even some of the stuff that you sent over like on the on the Loom notes as well, and kind of like walking through the ideas of like because it still applies regardless of niche, whether it's like this one or the niching down funnel that you end up doing, like understanding the idea with the objective and just kind of like not leaving to you understand it and drawing the pain and all that kind of stuff. Pretty important. And like seeing it was like, even me, I was like, yeah, eyes light up a little bit. So I was like, yeah, I wish I had that. Well, it's all good. We're here anyways. So anyways, I did have a question though. I was watching the video on the YouTube ads that actually ad spend that you sent over on the value channel. And I don't know, at this point I'm kind of like just curious as to what is there like any one platform in quotes that is the best? Like why do people choose one over the other? Like you yourself, have you run YouTube ads? Because I know that that's that guy's whole thing. Um, and I'm like, okay, why do people have like one particular preference about the other one? Is one actually better? Like, I don't know. What your thoughts are around that?
Yeah. Um, so I have tried YouTube ads. And I think I made like 2 sales my whole life, and they were very expensive sales. So I don't like YouTube ads very much. Um, can you guys hear me? I know it says my internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me, MJ?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, but you are kind of lagging in the movement, but your voice is coming through okay.
Okay. So, when it comes to advertising, in my experience, most people start with Facebook ads. Damn near everybody starts with Facebook ads. After that, some people migrate to, it seems like they're either migrating to TikTok or they're migrating to YouTube. From what I understand when it comes to YouTube, is that if you watch this guy's content, by the way, this guy's probably one of the best when it comes to YouTube ads, Brian Makeda. He really suggests that when you run YouTube ads, it's really a mass market thing. It's not niche, it's very large. So for example, I'm running, if I consider videographers, there's videographers, and then a niche down is videographers that work business and brands, and then a niche down is direct response marketing. So I'm very niche down. But if you just do just overall videography, it would work for YouTube ads. So for example, Paul Xavier, I don't know if you're familiar with him. Paul Xavier, he runs something called 7 Days Filmmaker or 14 Days
Yes.
Filmmaker. It's just a videography thing. They do a lot of YouTube ads. So does Parker Walbeck for his low ticket videography course and full-time filmmaker. Those work really well because mass market stuff like real estate, those things work really well. But Make Money Online, SMA, those kinds of things work really well. But when you go very niche, from my understanding, it doesn't work as well. And that's, again, you can check out his content to learn a little bit more about that. When it comes to TikTok ads, I can't speak much on that, but I do know Aaron Sawyer's, I think he does run them for his clients. I think I've heard TikTok ads work for the med spa niche to get customers for med spa owners. And I think I've also heard getting customers for dentists also works very well for TikTok. So that's kind of my experience when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, I'm sorry, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I don't know if Mason has any other experience that he wanted to chime in and share. Mason, is there something else that you want to chime in and share? Is there anything different that you've learned in your experience?
In terms of TikTok ads,
Or
In
just
terms
like
of
all
like
of them, like
Facebook
yeah,
versus
Facebook, YouTube.
TikTok.
yeah. Well, I haven't necessarily done YouTube ads, so I can't really comment too much on that. In terms of TikTok ads, you obviously like there's positive and negatives with it. So with TikTok ads, you pretty much have to run video ads. There's no such thing as photo ads like Facebook and Instagram. You can kind of get away with that.
Mhm.
And your ads have to be really good because the scroll rate on TikTok is a lot. Basically, people scroll a lot quicker on TikTok than they do Instagram and Facebook just because of the demographic. So
Right.
it kind of depends as well. But the thing with TikTok is like there is opportunity there because the CPM is basically cut in half in terms of what Facebook is offering. So for example, I guess let me break that down so like the newer guys can understand what I'm saying here. So in order to reach, let's say, 1,000 people on Facebook, it might cost you $30, where in TikTok, reaching the same amount of people might only cost 15, right? I've seen a lot of people have success in a lot of different niches in terms of TikTok ads, so they definitely work. But it just all depends on what you want to do and what you want to conquer in terms of like running ads because they both work. They all work.
Okay.
It's just a matter of fact of like, I've ran like gym ads with TikTok and I didn't get the best results. Facebook and Instagram did the best for me. But when it comes to like home remodeling and that type of niche, I know like it sounds crazy, but like TikTok is fucking crushing it in terms of those. So markets are a little bit different in terms of what platforms that you're marketing to. But I mean, yeah, it'll work. It's just a different platform. That's really it. But
Okay. Yeah. That
The
makes
only
sense.
thing I would say
If you're
is,
if
the only
you're
thing I will say is this really quickly, like, don't consider chasing TikTok ads and starting to learn how to use TikTok ads because you could be just following like the shiny object because it's proven that Facebook and Instagram already works and you know that platform more. Right. So it's like for me and like my journey and based off what I experienced, is like if I could go back in time, I would try to eliminate the mistakes that I've made. And I think a lot of the mistakes that I made is kind of chasing that shiny object and believing that there's an opportunity somewhere else where it's already proven that we know that Facebook and Instagram ads work very, very well for medical spas. So it's like, why would you spend a month learning how to use TikTok ads, learning the creatives and, learning how to do everything on there if you can just do exactly what you're doing right now and have nothing change? So that's my opinion on it. I think the only time that I would ever switch platforms in terms of running ads is like if I'm making $100,000 per month and I'm just simply looking to scale the business and look for a new platform to advertise on. That's my opinion.
Yep.
MJ, are you asking this question of your friend, your local friend that you're considering delving into? Is this for that person specifically, or I guess like what problem are you trying to solve, or what is the main reason for asking this question?
Oh no, there isn't. It was just out of curiosity. Like after seeing the video, I was watching the video that you sent, and I was just like juggling a few questions in my head between the ad platforms and just like why one over the other. Essentially, that's I kind of want to know it for myself too, and see what other, I guess, experts you guys could say guys experts have done and what successes and I guess what decisions and conclusions you've come to for my own knowledge or benefit, depending on whatever I use with that down the line. I actually don't know yet. I have no plans on doing uh YouTube ads or TikTok ads or anything like that. I think I'm pretty happy with Facebook right now. I guess the other question I was wondering too is like, especially like with TikTok and like where would you guys place the value of virality with that too as well? Like, like contents, like organic content going viral for moving product like on TikTok or Instagram Reels, like how would you guys navigate that as part of your paid ad strategy? Like, do you think that would be beneficial, like actually trying to get viral for, say, even like a med spa niche, for example? I know I've probably seen a few videos that are maybe hydrofacials or something like that, and the organic content and they are going ballistic in terms of like views and people asking in comments like, oh my goodness, where is this one able to do that service? So where would you place virality in like the content strategy in addition to paid ads?
Yeah. Really quick, just before we continue, I want to kind of maybe just like tell you what I would recommend in terms of med spas. So I would really just focus on like offer one to package one, like we spoke about, like for example, selling Ozempic on the front end and then selling a package, which is working really well. That's what Aman's video was about within the Wins channel, by the way. And then from there, you try to get everybody on a membership. And this is where the main money is. Remember, we spoke about this in that video as well.
Yeah.
That's it. And then month two, quarter two, this, quarter three, this, quarter four, this. And then I'm just cycling. I'm cycling every, quarter. I'm just running through this. And then once you have like really figured this out, then I would figure out going omni-channel. So I would take what you figured out here, let's try to add on TikTok and then repeat this whole process. And then from there, let's go to Google. And so what we're talking about is like 20%, growth year over year over year. That's how I would view it. And this in itself is going to keep you busy for like 2-3 years, just figuring all this stuff out. There's enough here to figure out. That's what I would do. So offer membership all the way through, and then maybe another platform, and then maybe another platform. I do think going from Facebook to TikTok and then to Google for med spas would be ideal. That's what I would do. In terms of virality, this is something Mason can talk about. He had one of his clients, Mason, you want to share the number of views she got, the number of followers, likes, and how many calls she got from that?
Yeah. So I had a client. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's at now, but I have A lot of my clients go viral in terms of what they're posting, but I had a client, I think the best one that we did was it was a video, I think it got like 17 million views, over like 400,000 likes. And I think just from the past, like when it was still going on, still viral, still getting views, but obviously not as much as it is right now. Like I think she booked maybe 10 to 12 calls in a matter of like 2 days, which is pretty good. But like, to be honest, like I like ads because whatever you post and put money behind it goes viral because it's getting views. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in terms of like strategy, I try not to make organic the main thing, or in terms of like importance, if I had to split it up into a percentage, I would say learning your offer and learning how to run ads and get the right targeting, etc., would play like 95% of revenue creation.
If
And
you
the other, like realistically, the content that we create isn't necessarily for getting clients, it's for nurturing people in the strategy that I use.
when I look at organic content, like again, if you just look at Mason, like when he said 17 million, your eyes went like, whoa, probably a lot of money, not a lot of money,
Not a lot,
right?
yeah.
And so
No.
you're looking at organic for top of funnel. It is not the best thing to do. It is much more scalable and repeatable to use ads as top of funnel. The way I like to use organic, just to tell you, is I like to use organic almost as like retargeting my existing followers. So what I mean by that is sometimes I don't, you know, on my Instagram, what I'll do is I'll make up offers randomly just for the heck of it. I'm like, hey guys, so I'm looking for 3 people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create your funnel. I'm going to figure out a niche. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Let me know if you're interested. So that's an organic piece of content. And what I'm doing is it's kind of like a different angle. So somebody saw my ad for leads and forever leads, and they clicked on it. They followed, they maybe went to the funnel. They didn't purchase. But then when I post this other thing, it's like, there may be somebody that is just super busy, all this stuff. So I'm serving a certain pain point. So I look at organic content as a way to serve specific pain points. So again, if we have Ozempic and this offer and this offer and this offer, what we can do is we can maybe create an offer or something or for organic to hit a certain avatar, to hit a certain pain point. That's how I like to view organic. It's kind of like retargeting my existing followers and re-engaging them.
Yeah.
That's how I like to view it. I like to view it as top of funnel. It as top of funnel.
Another thing you have to really think about is like if you're trying to go viral for a medical spa, you have to realize that that medical spa is local, right? And that medical spa is only going to serve a certain area, right? So luckily for my niche, like take this into account, and this will probably make a lot of sense. Like even though the video got 17 million views, and we can service the way that my business works is we can service anyone in the United States, Canada, wherever. Like we've got 10 book calls, right? We can service anyone from anywhere. Now take the same thing, the virality of the video that you're doing, but the area will only service people inside that area, or if you travel to them, right? So if we book 10 and we serve worldwide and you got 17 million views, how many of those 17 million are actually in that area?
Yeah.
To actually go through with the services. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the virality in a local business, like in a lack of better terms, like who gives a fuck? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the thing is, if you can take up the market share and spend money on ads in a specific area and get them to, you know, interact with your social media or take your offers, then it makes sense for your organic posts really to be more offer based or educational based rather than just trying to, you know, go viral and make a really cool looking video. Because that's not going to put money in your pocket. You can't go and cash views at a bank, right? So in terms of virality, like, and I think this is kind of why we all came here. It's kind of like the fact of like, it's kind of like what Jeremy said earlier. It's like you feel like you're resetting every month, and that is the reason we're resetting every month, because in video businesses, that's what we're doing. We're just getting views for the businesses, but they can't cash them in. So in reality, to make the business money, it's like you can use a video, right? Doesn't necessarily need to go viral, but if it has a strategy behind it, and you can throw money behind it and it has a great offer, that video is going to do better. And the thing is, like, in terms of like, let me say this, you can sell like going viral, because I think this is what Aaron is doing now. And that's the angle that he's taking. But if you think about it, he's not really selling the virality of it. He's selling more customers still. It's just a different angle that he's using to collect some of the market share, because what the market share is doing, what people are doing in the market, they're saying, get 30 customers guaranteed or blah, 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 this and that. He's basically doing the same thing, but on the front end, he's doing something new, unique, superior, and being like, hey, I'm going to make you the most well-known doctor in your area. He's doing the same fucking thing. Same thing. It's just a different angle.
Yep, that makes
What are your
sense.
thoughts? Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, MJ?
No, yeah, that makes sense. I was just trying to figure out, because every now and again, like, you probably see different agencies like that are trying to hit on the virality aspect of things. And so, like, thinking about it from that angle of, especially when you know the business and where it's local, even though I just thought about something, because this kind of happened to me over the last month that I thought was pretty interesting, but I still believe what you guys have said, like, that makes a lot of sense. But I realized something about TikTok, I guess, which is kind of like almost maybe the same way that Instagram may also work. So I have these videos that I do, and they are already on YouTube for the most part. And so some dude on TikTok goes through all the catalog, at least I think about 4 of them previously, like maybe a few months ago, and takes them, clips them, repost them on his own TikTok, and gaining viral views from the videos. I'm not even getting those numbers, right? So not like I was pained about it, but I was like, damn, I'm trying to do those numbers. Like, how is it that he's using my content and he's literally doing that? But I realized that, okay, so one, he's from Uganda, because I tried the same thing like a few months back, where I took where I thought was the same part that he was cutting from, not the exact same video yet though, but just the same place that he cut from, and just put him like, let me see if I cut the first minute just like he did with mine. Let's see what happens. So probably didn't go as well as his. Went like 400,000 views. Mine went like 1,000 or something on TikTok. I'm talking about TikTok specifically. So I realized that where he's from as well is Uganda. I think he's from Uganda, when I was just kind of looking into his profile and stuff. And if there's anything I know about African nations, because the content that I put out is Christian content, right? So anything I know about African nations like Nigeria, all these kind of places, is most things just don't work, like, just in general, like the government isn't doing nothing, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of Christian nations turn to God because of that, right? And so when you have declarations or things like that are coming forth, and you're having someone that's actually saying something that's scriptural and sounds beneficial to you, you have like a ton of people that are just like, trying to receive that, and like, oh yes, I claim this, or I claim that, and all that kind of stuff. So in my mind, I know that really served that audience because of where they are from, like being local or wherever that is from. And so those algorithms try their best to serve it to the local audience, like that actually, deserve or need to see that, right? So even if I take the same piece of content, probably, I don't know, post it, I will not see the same results, probably because, like, again, completely different audiences as well in that respect. So it just kind of made me think, like, in terms of like, well, how the algorithms work, maybe it's still possible that they are still serving the local part first before they kind of like go masses. But it doesn't discount anything that you guys have said, which is just something that just popped into my head as a thought of an observation that I, kind of realized over the past few months. But yeah, I think that makes sense for sure.
Yeah. So if I heard you correctly, you're saying that you think, based off of his TikTok and his algorithm, that the TikTok wants to serve a certain location, that's why it'll go viral. So he can make a subpar video and that'll still get more virality than you. So you could so what could happen is you could take the exact video he shot or he edited, you could post that, and maybe you'll get 1,000, 2,000 views, and then he could post a optimal video, let's just say objectively, and he'll still get more viral because of his TikTok. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Right. Like, because he is in Uganda, being an African, nation, and we have that same piece of Christian content, like the exact same video, I take that, I post it in Canada here, right? People aren't looking for the same things in that regard. Like it just doesn't speak to them as much in that sense. Whereas you have like a third world country, or a local area or a region that is not seeing things functioning as well, and they're all pivoting to God anyway. So that would serve them a lot and really skyrocket, versus me taking that same video, putting it in Canada. It's not going to see the same amount of traffic or traction.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. I have
Yeah.
my YouTube channel, unfortunately, I posted some dance content years ago, 2017, 18. Those videos blew up, like hundreds of thousands of views. And anytime I post a dance piece of content, it goes viral. But anytime I post anything that I want, which is business related, it doesn't go anywhere. So 100%, 100%
Yeah.
for sure.
No worries. Yeah, just trying to understand all this stuff. Okay.
What else do you want to go over, MJ?
I'm okay. I think that was pretty much anything that came to mind. I'm good. Just, at the moment, just trying to like fighting immigration a little bit with my brother. So there's that, but hopefully everything goes well with that. But yeah,
How are,
that's where I'm at so far.
how are things aside from that? Are you were really stressed for a little bit. How are you doing now? Have things calmed down a little bit, chilled out a little bit? How are you feeling like overall?
Almost there. I think I have probably maybe like one more project with a video project that I'm trying to finish up for, I guess, beginning or middle of September. But yeah, I think I've gotten most of the bulk of the work that I needed to do for this phase kind of done. So I think September might be fairly quiet before October sings again. But yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I mean, the other things that still kind of stress my head out with what's happening with the government and the immigration stuff and all that. I'm just trying to figure that out. But yeah, overall, feeling a little bit better for sure. For sure. Yeah.
What can me and Mason do? Is there anything that we can do to help?
No, not you guys are already doing great. So nothing else that I can think of, honestly. So this is just more, this is like really just what's happening in my situation right now for the most part. So it isn't anything that I can stress you guys about, even though I love stressing you guys, but it's not this one.
You don't stress. You don't stress us. Don't worry about us.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, it was good catching up with you this week. If there's other things you want to chop it up about, just feel free to message me and, we can hop on a call or anything else. Just make sure you're good to go with everything. Okay.
For sure. Will do. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
guys.
Okay. I think next we have Cam, Mr. Cam, Speedy Gonzalez, just knocking stuff out left and right. What's going on with you, man?
So I'm just stuck on step 8 of Trello. Like it kind of says there's not really any instructions other than now do this. So I'm just kind of wondering on basically just more like examples. Maybe I just don't really know what my mission is here. I read that sentence, I understand the message, but is the 1 to 3 creatives? So I'm making 3 still ads. So it's doing the exact same thing as the video ad where it's going to be going, but it's photos.
Yeah.
Or-
So I'm reading this now and I can see why you had the confusion versus like what I had said to you. So I'll just like draw some visuals and hopefully this helps. So imagine that these are all different creatives. And then imagine this line down here is the exact same copy. So what we're doing is we're just testing it out. We're just saying, okay, does this video work better? Does this video work better? Does this photo work better? Like which one of these work better? So let's say, this video and this copy works better. Okay, awesome, great. We've got something winning here. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll see if we can create something else that's similar to this. And we'll keep the same copy. Or maybe what we'll do during the next phase is we'll have we'll have, man, this is like super lag. I'm so sorry, guys. Imagine that these are all the same videos. And then this is a version of a copy. This is a version of a copy. And then this is a version of a copy. So all we're doing is we're just testing. So right now, what you can do is you can just launch your ad right now. And we just say like, okay, great. What I'm simply saying is like, well, let's create some variations. So in your particular case, what I recommended was, what did I say? I said, in your particular case, I think I said, have like the same video, and then this is copy 1, this is copy 2, and this is copy 3. So you can do it this way. And then what we'll do is we'll find a winner here, or you can do whatever I just like drew out. It's the same thing. We're just testing out. We're just throwing out a few different things to see kind of what clicks for people instead of like just assuming it's going to be this perfect thing. It's going to be this video and this copy. We're just having a few variations. That's all we're doing.
Okay. Which one do you think I should do? Or are you saying it doesn't matter? We just got to test different variations of whatever.
In my experience, dude, like I think video is better than honestly, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference actually for you.
Okay.
I think you should do what I just said, which is like the same video and then different copy.
Right. Okay. That'll be easier for me, I think, anyways.
Yeah.
I like that way better.
Don't overthink it. It's not like nothing. It's nothing that's gonna like make or break anything, dude. It's nothing.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
that.
Okay. And then is that one of the steps for Trello, like different copies, or is that just
No.
swapping?
Everything I went over is just like step 8, which is like testing out multiple variables. That's it.
Okay.
So
I haven't really made any copy for the video or anything yet, so should I just do that today, I guess, and then just make 3 different versions, and that'll be kind of my split testing for that same video?
try some copy that's like short. Try something that's a little bit longer form. Try something that's got a different angle. Try to just make all 3 of them very different. The thing that you need to have though is the same offer, right? Whatever offer you have, that has to be the same between all 3. But try three different angles. Like some people are longer readers. Some people are like, hey, short. Like for example, the 6 figure and 6 week sales funnel, right? That copy was like super short. It's like, here's the offer, here's how long we're running it for. You want a yes or no? So try maybe one that's short, try one that's maybe medium, try one that maybe like talks to them on a personal level that you know them, like because you know these guys really well. Yeah, you just gotta throw stuff at the wall and we'll see what sticks.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. And then for the banner, like the 1080 by 1080 with what I did is I just put my offer on top and bottom. And I'm wondering if that's like good enough for that. Just because I don't know, it just seems like that
You just have to test.
and my copy will change, or
So I feel, I mean, this is your banner should be your offer. So it should be the congruent thing, right? So your offer is 20 jobs in 30 days or you don't pay. So like you don't have to, I feel like your thumbnail is going to be fine. Like this thumbnail, by the way, I think this is a better one than this one.
right. Well, it's just like, so is the thumbnail, it's like, so the banner there with like the fill your client with highlight plans, like, Daniel's, he showed me his and he's got like the text above. So I'm wondering, is the banner different from that?
Let me see. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can find Daniel's Facebook page.
I have Daniel's picture down below just because I was wondering if that's what I should be aiming for, or like a version of it. But then if you go to his thing, there's like the text above, I think, right, Daniel?
Actually,
Yeah, I just have like the attention HVAC owners, like much similar to what you did, like on top and bottom.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so it's a square ratio, but the video is what is that, 16 by 9 by 16, whatever, 16 by 9, right? Inside the square, and then the text on top and bottom.
Yeah. And when you do like the attention HVAC business owners or whatever, that's when you're in Facebook, right? And you're posting the ad, it gives you the text area, and that's when you type it in, right?
Yeah, there's certain parts of the ad, like there's the headline, like then like bigger part of the text, and then I think a bigger part of that, and I just like followed Facebook's prompts as far as like what to, and as far as what to type, like I told you, I just kind of like did the ads library, looked it up, and then and looked up like HVAC agencies, and then just copy pasted what they used and just switched it up a little bit. That's all I did.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Jeremy, if you ever see this guy's ads, he's another one of my students. So a lot of my students end up running ads and building their own programs.
I haven't seen him yet.
You'll see him soon enough. Good kid. But yeah, so I mean, when it comes to your thumbnails, I mean, nobody's really honestly paying attention to thumbnails, guys. Like the video just starts. Like what's important is this stuff: master video business in just 7 days. Like that's the key thing. So hopefully that's making sense. You got your 1920 by 1080 video, and then you got your headline. So this guy, what he's done is different. Is like he's got his 1920 by 1080 video. He's got his headline, and then he uses the bottom part as you know, kind of like what's it called, the transcript or whatever. Yeah, subtitles. That's just like the style he went for. But this is the main thing. So it's like when I scroll by and it's like, okay, I see this guy, he's got a gimbal behind, he's got some video stuff. I can't hear him, but I say, oh, I want to master the business side and I want to do it in 7 days. That's what's bringing my mind. So it's like, oh shit, let me listen to what this guy has to say. So it's not so, I wouldn't so stress about so much about the thumbnail or anything like that. Just this is the most important part.
Okay. Okay, cool. So can you go up for a sec, back at that guy? Well, no, we're just watching.
This guy?
Yeah, so the text that I should be split testing is where he says 5 times your video business at the very top right with the camera emoji. That's kind of what I should be experimenting with. Or you're saying it could be all of it, including like the banner and all that, but the offer stays the same.
Question. So this is going to be your creative, stays the same. This is your headline, stays the same. Your sub headline, I forget what this called it. They call this a description. This stays the same. This stays the same. This stays the same. This stays the same. This is the part you're testing. So what he's doing is he's testing a short form thing. I'm willing to bet he's got like if we just check him out, let's see if I bet you guys a longer form. So he's just, so yeah, Facebook isn't showing it for some reason, but like, I literally, like, this is what I was talking about. So you have this one, which is like just this one, very short form copy. He's testing the exact same creative, everything out, but he's got a longer form. See that? That's what I mean. So you're just testing that out. Just test out short form, long form, various different angles.
Okay.
But the rest is the same.
Let me share my screen for a second.
Yep.
Just because I think it's good to go visual with this. So we're talking about the primary text.
Right.
This is exactly what we're referring to. Everything else should basically be the same.
Okay.
So you have your image here, right? So you upload your image, shows up here, and then you have your primary text. The description, I usually keep blank, that's down here. But your headline, this is your headline right here. So if you look at this part of my screen, this is the headline right there. And then this is the primary text. So this is what we're talking about right here. So get 3 of these right here is what we're saying. And then I sent you, so it says add text examples. If you just click on this, I just went through some of my ads. And then if you kind of take these, you can tweak them up a little bit. Like this one is short, this one's a little bit longer. They're all kind of different niches and you can kind of take it and make it yours. But if you want to take these and just kind of run with 3 of these and just kind of change it up for your niche, then that would work.
Yeah, sweet. That'll help a lot. Thanks for that.
Good, gotcha.
And what else you got for us, man?
That's pretty much it. Just taking it one day and one step at a time. Just trying to kill it fast. Sorry?
Are you planning on launching tomorrow, or are you planning on launching tomorrow, or when are you planning on launching?
Oh, I haven't even thought about launching. I'm just kind of going step until I see the step that says launch. I'm not really looking at the other steps and trying to just focus on one at a time.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's my bad. You still have to build out your funnel, your calendar page, all that stuff. So
Yeah,
probably be
yeah.
a few days before you
Yeah,
launch.
I maybe push that. So I'm just hoping to get my first client within a month. That might be delusional, but without knowing what's coming, that's what I'm going to try to go for regardless. So yeah, whenever I launch,
No,
I'll
you
launch. I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
yeah, you're going, man. You're doing great, man. Doing fantastic. Anything else that you wanted to go over, man?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Well, we'll circle back if you have more questions, man.
I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
So on your ads and like your students that you just showed, this is nitpicking, and I'm sure you're gonna reply with like it doesn't matter, just post it's fine. But like your guys's video seems to be cropped in a little bit, so there's some black borders on the outside. I kind of took the whole real estate of that 1080 by 1080 for my video. So there's no black on the sides of my video, if that makes sense. Like I maxed it out. Is that something that you'd recommend? It's just a stylistic choice, I assume, but do you guys do it for any reason?
No, I think
aesthetics?
mine is actually like all the way, and I think his is all the way too. I think this is just how Facebook.
Oh,
I think
okay,
this-
my bad. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure if I were looking at his actual video, like how he exported it, it probably looks like this.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you.
What else? Anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Cool. All right, well, just keep us posted, man, as you progress. The rest is, not that difficult. Just building the funnel like you've already done and launching the ads, man.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Rodarte, did you get a chance to watch my video, my long video that I recently
No,
sent?
yeah, I did. Thank you. Yeah, and it really like cleared up a lot as far as like you going over like the numbers of like what's expected and like what's within like the norm. So like me, I was thinking like, okay, I'm already like at $1,200 for ad spend, and you're like, dude, no, like it's 5K. I'm like, oh, okay, so I thought like I was I was falling behind and like failing, but no, it's like okay, so I'm like right in there. And you were telling me like read between the lines, and I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like when I left you that video as far as like asking about the going back to the six income, my mindset was just like, okay, I just know what you tell me, and like you said a threshold, you said like a standard, and I'm like, okay, I'm not there at that standard. So then just thinking about like I've seen faces on these calls like kind of like drop off. So I'm like, okay, so I don't that's all I know. That's all I'm going on. So but like yeah, like you're all that to say your video was like once again, man, encouraging. So yeah, I'm confident that I'm getting enough leads now where because for a while like I can go like 2-3 days with nothing, and that I think was adding to the angst. But now like I think within 1 week I got 9 leads. So I'm like, okay, so I think if it stays like that, I think I'm confident I can close within a couple weeks. So
Good.
um,
I'm glad that video helped me. Context
yeah.
of
But yeah, I just wanted to go over the KPIs because like some things have changed, and I'm wondering if I should just leave it the way it was.
Sure.
Do you mind if I share my
Mhm.
screen?
Go for it.
Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, so this is just for the month of August because that's the only time I like the leads came in. I think I launched the 27th of July, but that's when I did my own placement. And then I just went ahead and let Facebook do it, and that's when it started like coming in. So that's me targeting. I'm not going to count those, but these are now like coming down to $65 a lead. And when I left you that video of like turning them off, I only had 2. So another 2 came in. This number here, 13 leads, it's actually 4 more than that, so it's 17. And just doing the
Okay.
math really quick, so 874, 77 divided by 17. These are $51 a lead.
Okay, so the bottom one is 51, and then what is the top one?
This top one is accurate. That's $65 a lead.
Okay. So what
So
is your
that-
question?
Well, the video I left you was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn. My thought was to turn this off because it was only at two leads, but in like a couple days I got 2 more leads. So, and now I'm like, maybe I should just leave it on, but then, like, all the leads are from the video, so you know, and also
So
you know, Facebook has only put $10 less than $10 in an image ad. And I'm sure it's because like they know whatever, but whatever clicks, whatever, they know it's not performing. So should I just turn that one off, you think?
Good question. Is that your first question, or do you have more questions? Ciaran?
Yeah, that's my first question. I got a lot of questions.
Okay. So it goes back to like my thing of like I just don't want to touch anything with the 10 feet pull if it's working. Like honestly, you got one that's performing at $65, you got one performing at $51. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And if we look at the amount that's being given, like it's $10. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is it breaking your whole machine over $10? I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
And now, if you wanted to confirm whether the image is even worth it or not, what you could do, and I'm not necessarily to do this or not, here's how I would do it. If I wanted to confirm whether image ads worked or not, I would just have an ad set with just the image. Or I'd have like two of the image ads in there. And that's what I would do. That wouldn't, so I wouldn't be risking breaking these 2 things that are already working for you.
Okay.
One creative per ad set.
One creative per ad set. Okay. So that clears that up.
I personally feel like just with our funnel type, if you just really think about it, though, also like just like take a moment to just like take a 30,000 feet view and think with your marketer mind, right? So these HVAC business owners, they see the ad, they click on it, they go to a calendar page, they schedule a call, and then you got to like somehow nurture them and get them to show up. What's going to build more trust? Is it going to be the video or the photo with the way the funnel is created?
Video.
Video for sure. Yeah, for sure. So it's just like my logical mind just like says like video is going to crap on the photo all day, every day.
Okay.
But again, so that's like me just thinking as a marketer holistically, but then the level above that is just like, hey, I don't want to break anything. It's already working. I'm not gonna mess around with it.
Okay.
And then in the future, maybe not try photo ads. And again, as Mason and I am saying, if you want to confirm, you would have an ad set with just the photo ad just to confirm.
And then so follow-up question is, so this is the Advantage one that I increased budget when you said don't increase budget, and I did it before you told me don't do it. It definitely dipped after doing that. Like it stopped like bringing in leads, like maybe like a day or day and a half, but then it started coming back, and now this is the winning ad set. So my question is, the way you were saying, like if I want to go from 36 to 50, do I just make another ad set and put 14 on it? Or do I, because that was my confusion. And it was like, well, if leads are, $50 a lead, and I'm putting $14 on it, that's going to take how many days to get a lead? That's where I thought like, oh, I'll just increase the budget then. But
Yeah.
do you understand what my question?
Yeah. So the way I like to look at it is like the overall budget spent per day, not necessarily the ad set. So if my average cost per lead is $50, then yeah, I'm going to spend $50 overall every single day to get that lead. So you have 2 ways that you can do it. One way is to increase the budget, and then there's the risk of it breaking, as you know, as we spoke about. There's the also potential that it breaks for like 1 or 2 days and then it starts working again. We don't know. The other option is that you can duplicate the ad set, and then I kind of told you my theory in terms of like what happens. It seems like that hasn't been the case for you, which is fortunate, where you can just vertically duplicate ad sets and it's working. So if it were me, the way I would play it is, if you want to increase ad spend, what I would do is I would either, the safest thing is to just duplicate the ad set and have one more at $15 a day. And now you're spending an overall budget. The second safest thing to do is to go to your ad set that is not performing as well and then tweak the budget there. The third most risky thing would be to tweak the budget within your winning ad set, the original one. That's the order of operations I would think about it.
Okay. Got
But
it.
kind of like Daniel, another thing as well is like you haven't spent a lot, but you spent enough money to kind of see what's going on in terms of like what your average cost per lead is, right? So like the way that I look at ads, and like don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying like you're being emotional about like how much you're spending or the numbers. Like don't take like the way that I'm about to say. It's like when I'm in like my ads manager, like I like to make the most logical decisions, right? So it's like, okay, I know from approximately of where I'm at, depending on like, I don't look at the individual ad sets like the way that you are right now. The way that I look at the ad sets is like, okay, so if I add up everything that I'm spending each day, like this is how much I'm spending, then I know my average cost per lead, let's say is $50, right? So let's say I launch 2 new ad sets at $25 a day and I let them run. And let's say I spend $100 on each and they haven't gotten a lead yet. Chances are that I need to shut those ones off, right? Because I spent 2 times the amount in 2 different ad sets and I haven't gotten a lead from either, right? So that tells me, okay, what I have here in this ad set, this Advantage Plus National Bookings one, the one that's booking the 17 leads, that one has gotten you the most leads. Something is going correct here. So it's like, okay, so let's take this ad, let's do something a little bit different with it. I like my copy, everything is good. Let's duplicate that 2 other times and change the hook of the actual ad and then see what goes on. And then let's spend another $50 to $100 and let's see if it gets a hit. If it gets a hit, then it's like, boom, okay, I spent $60 and I got a lead. There's nothing I need to change here. But then as soon as it gets double, triple, etc., and it's starting to do worse than your best ad set, right? Or like way worse, right? Because like the difference between, again, a $50 lead and a $60 lead doesn't mean you need to shut it off, right? It's like, hey, I'm not doing as good as the best one as it can be, but if it's in that range, it's like, okay, this makes sense. But if it's like 80, 90, $100, then you're like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why would I keep this on if I have 2 ad sets that are running that are getting $50, $60 and then this one's getting $150?
Yeah. If
That makes
you
sense.
had if you had an ad set that was 150 and then one that was 50, I would be like, hey, let's have a closer look. Even here's the other thing. Even if you're, let's say your cost per lead for one ad set is $51, which is the one with the most leads, 13 leads. And then let's say you have the one that you have checked next to, and let's say you spent $100 and you got 1 lead. I still wouldn't tell you to turn off because all of a sudden you can have a lead come in overnight and then numbers go down to $50.
Right.
So it's not until you're like 3x, like an insane
Right.
number, like $50 per ad set and then 150, that I'm like, okay, something weird's going on, but a significant amount has to be spent.
Right.
Your numbers just overall look very healthy.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
healthy.
And that's essentially what happened. Is like
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
this number was like around 250 or maybe 220 or something, and I only had 2 leads. And then I think my last 2 leads were from this ad set, so it definitely brought it down to like all the way down to 65. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just hang on a little bit.
Exactly. And that's normal. That's normal. You
Okay.
gotta give it time. So
Yeah.
that's for you and for your clients moving forward.
Okay. All right. I have a second question regarding the I think I can stop sharing my screen now. Regarding the video of Aman you had me watch of his discovery calls or sales calls. This is like
Some
probably,
some are discovery calls and some are sales. They're
Yeah.
titled.
yeah, I forget which one I was talking about, or maybe it was a sales call. Yeah, it was a sales call because it was with a an owner in I forget where. Maybe out here in California. Anyway, he talks about AI bots and like he tells her like these are like the AI bots that we have trained. Is that like, this is a bonehead question, man. Is that like something that like is true, or is that something that's within Go High level that I gotta access, or is that just like what he's telling her just to tell her that? Like I thought it was like me responding as far as like keeping them nurtured. Yes, there's the automations, but as far as like the AI bot, like the AI, he's talking about like training these AI bots to kind of like converse.
He actually does it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he actually does. So the moment somebody becomes a lead, they actually trigger an AI bot, and that AI bot has a conversation with them.
Okay, so that's something I gotta look into then, I guess. Um, as far as
You
implementing.
don't need, you don't need, like, it may or may not help you. In his case, it actually does help him. So you're saying you need to look into it for what sake? To sell people, to get something them interested, or two, to actually help people? Because those are two different things.
I would think both, because where I've messed up was like doing the like, oh yeah, well, I'll field calls is what I said, right? And I'm like, oh no, that's not what I'm doing. So it's like, okay, I'm nurturing these calls, but then um selling them on like for their service, for their ads. Like, yeah, this is how we nurture the calls, is like there's AI bots that like have a conversation with them and keep them warm up until, the appointment time or whatever.
I think what you should do is, I think the reason that works so well is because it's industry specific. Like when it comes to these med spas, they get so many leads, it's such high volume that the front desk can't actually work them.
Okay.
And so it's a good selling point. When it comes to HVAC, it's a different niche. With your guys, it's like they get a lead, they're on it. They're trying to give an estimate. It's very different, I think. I think it's a different niche. I don't think that it's a huge selling point for them, in my opinion. I could be wrong. What I would recommend doing if I were you is it goes back to my Loom video, man, where I told you, like, dude, go out there and launch some HVAC ads. Talk to Cam. Cam has a guy, an agency owner that's running ad. Go like just test those out, spend some money, test those out, spend $100, testing that out and just see what the heck happens. See what it's like talking to those people. Like get the leads, try to have a conversation, try to get say, hey, look, I'll do an estimate for you. Speak as if you are an HVAC business owner and just learn yourself. And then see, would an AI actually help with that, or an AI would not help with that? And
Okay.
then you can have the about AI. Like I would not be looked at. That's like the order of operations. So step one, launch them, like have a conversation with Cam, figure out what kind of HVAC ads work. 2, 3, launch some. Step 4, work those leads and learn yourself. And then once you learn those, you're going to be able to translate that over to your sales calls,
Okay.
that information over your sales.
Got it. And that brings me to my next question was, I know like Drew had his video where he shared what he was doing, right? But didn't you make a video about that to kind of like simplify that, or am I mistaken?
So
I'm asking because I thought I
I'll show
saw
you,
it.
but where's this question?
Oh, just so I can watch that video, because I thought I saw it like in a thread, but then I lost it. I can't seem to find it. And it was like you
Yeah, here, it's
posting
here.
about, okay.
So come into how to grow your business organically, really quick intro video. And then this video right here is where I kind of just holistically 30,000 feet view of how all this stuff works. I kind of give my rendition, and then this is the actual coaching call. So give this video a watch and then come back to the coaching call, and I timestamped it for you guys. So you can come back here and watch Drew explain everything from A to Z. So you can timestamp it and you can go from the 19-minute mark to here. And that's where Drew explains how the whole strategy works. So I give a holistic view. You can watch Drew, and then this is one of Drew's sales calls. This is another one of Drew's sales calls.
Got it.
So you see
Yeah,
him in action actually closing deals.
that's what I was trying to find. I thought it was on the
So
Slack.
this video is great. This video is great because it'll show you that initial discovery call where he gets people on the hook. It's like, hey man, like give me an estimate. They say call him, has a conversation here, man, like asking questions. Hey, here's what I'm actually doing. Would you be interested? They say yeah. Then he does a trial. Then this is the actual sales call. We actually close the deal after the trial. So you have everything you need. You have the trial call, you have the initial call, you have what happens to do the trial and how he nurtures them and gets some results, and you have the actual sales call. So you have everything you need here.
Got it. Okay. And then lastly was Joel, in the last video you sent me, you said, hey, if you need access to Joel's website again, like yeah, I definitely would want to look at that. All those sales calls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Can you,
man. Just like
can you so I'm go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm sorry because like there's like the portal, then there's these Slack channels and like the direct. I just forget like where things are, and like so that's why I'm just asking like again like where is it? But you were saying to just message you.
Yeah, just message me so I remember, and then I'll send it to you later today.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly was I haven't uploaded it yet because you said it wasn't working. My Google Doc, you weren't able to access it, I think. But I'm going to be uploading some discovery calls that I think went well. I think I could think of 3. And these are like really
Are they getting
short.
better and better?
Yes, the overall trend is upwards, but like there's like some dips in there, on the way up. But
Yeah,
I haven't
and you know
posted
where to
them
put
yet.
them.
Is this mine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is yours. So
Okay.
just throw them in here. Also start updating your numbers, man. Start putting your numbers in here. This is really important. It'll help
Okay.
you out.
They should have new numbers in there.
Oh, well, no, these are different. These are, yeah, unless you're putting in them in January.
No, it was July and August. Maybe that's the one you're not. Maybe I think that's the one I sent you and you have access to. Okay, I'll make sure
Yeah.
it's on this one. Okay.
Yeah, man, just let me know and I'll have a look. Let me know which one you think I should review and I'll run through it, man.
All right. But yeah, other than that, like things are chugging along, man. So, like I said, I got 9 leads in a week. I just had a discovery call today, 2 discovery calls, and of that, I booked 1 sales call for later this evening. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Good.
just one more at bat. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, dude. Perfect. Like I said, man, everything's healthy. Sounds like you understand it's healthy and just we gotta keep batting, man. Keep batting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to go over, Arte? Any questions or anything you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
Cool. Jeremy, anything you want to talk about? Do we
No.
scare you away? Jeremy, do we scare you? I know we didn't talk about, videos and, critiquing videos here today, which, unfortunately.
No, I mean, if you've been around as long as all the A/B testing and all that stuff, that's the one filmmaker class. That's not the only thing I've ever bought. So, or read or studied or watched YouTube videos on. So, I just hope I have enough time in a day to do all this stuff, that I'm not in a situation where I've, running this business. But Mason assured me that once I get rolling, it'll be easy to kick away the other stuff. So I just got to find that balance of getting this up and running and still getting the work done here to pay the bills. If I'm being honest with you, that's probably the biggest anxiety I have is just, there are a handful of things I've got to always do because I've got contracts out, and until I'm making enough money to kick them to the curb, that's just how it's got to be. But if it means just for the next 3 or 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, doing what I did this past weekend, coming in and throwing in a couple hours on Saturdays and Sundays, and that's what I'll do. Just got to make it work. It'll hopefully that time I'm putting in then will pay off down the road.
I mean, I think so. I mean, you're here and this is the very first call. And I always ask people, I kind of just joke with them, do we scare you off? And, hopefully you kind of see like everybody's trucking along, like everybody's, moving a little bit. And it's a long journey. But hopefully this is just kind of seeing the guys. It's, you found inspirational a little bit. Some people have a little bit more free time. Some people don't, Rodarte just, had a kid, just had a new kid. So people are making it work, and I think you'll make it work as well. I mean, the stuff works, right? Hopefully you've been able to see it, like the stuff just works. You do it, it'll work. It'll work for you.
Yeah.
That's a promise.
I think there's a part of me, it's like, hey, Koshik, how much could I just pay you to do this for me real quick? Just pay you monthly. You just take this and run. But because I'm at the point where I'm just like, I just want it to go. I wish I could snap my fingers and make it happen. But I understand there's a time period here, so I'm ready to roll. I want some extra money. My client that I told you about, I only spent 30 minutes with him on the phone today. So it's just every time I'm talking to him, like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Hopefully you can kick him to a curb soon and get your time back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If not kick him to the curb, at least, maybe pay my son or somebody to be his personal whatever, and I can go off into the sunset and play some golf or meet you guys. And like you said, sit down for a barbecue. You guys aren't from Kansas City, so I'm assuming you've never had real barbecue. So we'll have to take care of that.
maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do our meetup, Mason. Instead of Bali, we'll go to Kansas. So he'll take care of us in terms of all the barbecue we need.
Missouri, Kansas was the only part of the Louisiana State Purchase that Thomas Jefferson got ripped off on. So yeah, we've got some, I think we've got 2 or 3 restaurants that are routinely ranked in the top 10 or 15 of the best barbecue in the world. So if you're ever in Kansas City, you just have to hook up, look me up, and I'll take you to all of them.
Sounds good. I will just prepare for diabetes on my way there. We'll get some of that, some sweet tea, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
On some weight.
We got a lot of insulin here. We can take care of
you. Jeremy, how are you feeling though overall, honestly? You feeling a little bit better?
Yeah, I feel good. My natural inclination is what I told you. As we were sitting here talking, I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 people I know that if I didn't follow your instructions, I'd already be talking to them, because I think I could. These are 9 people who I know and I trust, and I think they trust me, and I think I could probably sell them on this and like have money. If there's that, like I said, there's the temptation to say, look, Mason or Koshik, look, I got these 9 people right now. Let's set up a call with them and get them going. I'll bet we could have them all paying us before the month's over. But I want to learn it. I want to do it right. So yeah. All of them know. One of them I know, he's spending upwards of $200,000 a year on services to get him clients. And he won't do business with me because we're very close friends. And it's just, he doesn't like working with friends. I've tried to talk him into it, but he's paying some company, I believe down in Springfield, Missouri, between their video content they produce for him and Google ads, somewhere around $200,000 a year.
What niche is it?
Jeez.
He does, he runs a company called North Oak Investment, and they are essentially like, if you were somebody who liked to flip houses, they're the people you go to get the money, the quick loan. So like if you found a house that, the bank was like, no way, we're not giving you any money on that. It's not worth a dime. It's completely destroyed. Well, you'd go to this guy. He'll give you a 6-month interest-free loan based on what you think you're going to sell the house for and what it's going to cost and all that stuff. And, the goal is you repair the home in 3 to 4 months, and then you take 2 months to sell it. You pay him the loan and keep the profit. But yeah, him and we spoke probably about a month or so ago, and I just see all the stuff he's doing, and I just asked him heart to heart, you got to tell me, why didn't you ask me to do this stuff for you? I see you having videos made. I see you're running Google ads. Why didn't you trust me to do that? And he just is like, look, I just don't work with friends. He had his mom and dad were working with him, and he fired them both. And now he's not speaking with them. He's like, if I'm not speaking with my mom and dad, I don't want to, I'm a jerk to work with. So I was like, all right. But anyway, he went over everything with me, spending around $80,000 to $90,000 in Google advertising, and then another 110 or so on the video. The personal injury attorney, the guy that's just wearing me out, he's got somebody else doing Google ads for him. He's spending 10 grand on Google ads with them every month. And that's not including whatever the fee is that guy's charging him. And then he and I worked out a deal where I'm just, look, you get me for 20 hours a month, it's $2,000. Once you go over 20 hours, I'm going to start billing you extra. So we finally worked that out. But I just know a lot of people who are spending a ton of money. And I kind of feel like your system seems like it might be more legit than going through Google Ads. So it's just like, what if I could come to you and say, look, let you just take half the money you're spending on ads, put it into this system, and I won't charge you a penny for the first month. I just want to show you it works. And then if it works, take the rest of your money and throw it into this, and then you'll tell me, we'll work out what my fee is. That's the temptation right now. But that's, my mind's always working ahead. But tomorrow I'm going to jump into the week 3 videos and start building out the 6F6, what is it? 6 in 6 weeks, whatever it is, the initial. So it's going to be interesting to have your face out advertising for me. I'll say that. That's going to be weird, but because there are a lot of people in Kansas City. I mean, it's 2 million people, but oh, here is something I did want to ask you. So I think I told you my Facebook page, one time I got it up to like 2,000 or 3,000 followers. I woke up one morning and it was just gone. No explanation, no nothing. So then I worked really, really hard and I built it back up over 1,000 followers. And I'm not talking buying followers. I mean, I worked it up. And then I woke up one morning and somebody had hacked it and was selling sandals out of it. And so Facebook banned it or suspended it. The page still exists, but they will not give it back to me. Whoever the hacker was, when I go into that page, I can still access the page, but the hacker now owns it. They replaced me somehow or another. And I begged Facebook, will you just take them off and reinstate me and we're back in business? But they won't do it. And they won't delete the page. So now I have these 2 Facebook pages sitting out there, which is frustrating. But I just haven't put a lot of time and energy into rebuilding my Facebook page. Right now, I might have 200 or 300 followers on it. Is that something I need to maybe run some okay. Yeah, I just didn't want, when people check me out, be like, why would I trust you? You got 200 followers on Facebook. You don't know what you're doing.
I have 400 followers, if that brings anything into context.
Okay. That was something I was thinking about over the weekend that I did want to ask you. So
No,
It'll be fun.
the follower count or anything along the lines of that doesn't matter, right? What matters is that you have a page to run ads to and that your offer is good. If I had 10 followers and I had a picture of a banana on an ad and said, click here to claim $50 for free, would you click it?
probably, yeah.
Well, there you go. Right? It wouldn't matter if I had 20 followers, right?
Okay.
So all that matters is that your offer is good, it makes sense, and that the ad is being shown to people that it makes sense to be shown to.
All right.
That's all.
Well, I won't keep you guys. It's late. I know your time's even further ahead. So I've been getting texts like, where are you at? Are you coming home? The whole time. So I better get going.
Okay. All right, Jeremy, we'll let you go.
All right, guys.
Just Slack and
I'll let you know if anything pops up on Slack, through via Slack, if I have any questions as I start going through this stuff. Is this literally, do I watch this, or is this like watch video 1 and at the end of video 1 you should have this much built, and video 2 and you'll have this much built? Is that, I mean, is these videos I'm getting ready to watch, are they essentially implementation step by step?
Watch it, do it, watch it, do it, watch it, do it, watch it, do it, watch it, do it.
Good. That's kind of how I learned. So, okay.
And then you always have me as well. So you should have Loom at this point.
I should have what? Oh, Loom. Yes, yes, I do.
Have any issues, you can always record a video of your screen and say, yo, Mason, like this, I'm having issues with this or with that, etc.
I'll probably bug you a lot on Go High Level.
You're fine. That's literally what I do.
Yeah, that's what
Don't worry about it.
Toshik was telling me.
Yeah.
That was part of Master Filmmakers, but their videos were just whenever they recorded the videos, and when I was working in Go High Level, everything had changed. So every video I was literally having to like pause it. They would say, click this button, and the button wasn't there. So you'd have to pause it, and I'd have to dig around and find where the button was. And I was just really getting frustrated. So anyway.
Go High Level is one of those platforms where it truly is leading the industry. There's so many developers that the system is moving very, very quickly. So I would be wrong to say that ours probably isn't the same. Ours is probably way more updated than theirs. But in terms of like it changing all the time, there's nothing really we can do about it. But
Yeah.
ours is, I mean, ours is fairly updated, like pretty often every couple months. So you shouldn't have too many issues. And if you do again, like if it gets to a point where you're like, yo, Mason, like my face is getting red, and I'm about to punch someone out, like we get on a call together and we just do it one-on-one together. So it's like in terms of support, like you have me in your back pocket. So if you ever like, dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, like I got you.
Yeah, I'll do all my looms in different voices. Koshik heard my Arnold, but I'll do like if I'm getting ready to fight, I'll call you up as I'll do Mike Tyson.
That works well for me.
You know, I say I'm Mike Tyson, I'm a former heavyweight champ, but you do this go high level thing, it's really pissing me off.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I get paid for that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you
He
did.
A
did
lot
as
of voiceover work and celebrity impressions and accents. People will ring me up and
Yeah, we used to hire at the agency that I worked at for that. We would pay like $100 for someone to do like a 30-second voiceover script.
best I ever got was $1,500 for about 5 minutes of work. That was for Bluebell ice cream or Blue Bunny, whatever they are. I'm kind of, if Trump wins, I'm set because I got Trump down. So good to see you guys. So fantastic. We're working on this little system. Everybody says it's so good. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we're going to try our best. We're going to do so good. People are going to be so tired of making money. Yeah. So if he wins, I'm in like Flynn for 4 years. So
That's awesome.
yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night.
So you
And,
could you
I'll
could run
check
an
in.
ad. You could run an ad and be like, make your business booming again. You can talk like Trump.
Make your business great again.
No, dude, like I'm not even kidding. Like
Yeah.
I wish I was kidding.
Well, that would be a good hook, but I got to get the wig and the AI face replacement, the deep fake. And then he'll sue us and that'll make me famous. And then we'll, make all kinds of money. All right, guys. We'll see you. Have a good night.
All right, Mr. Trump. Stay safe.
So good. Yeah, so strongly. See ya.
See ya.
you guys.
That's hilarious.